Ta-da!
Ah,
Hello, folks. Hello, Mr. Rob.
what is up, my friend?
Welcome to Monday, May 16th. If you're watching us on the replay, we are live every Monday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join us during the live show. It's a lot of fun. We can get your input. You can get us in. You can get in the chat. So Lewis here, busting our chops, almost time. So what's up, Lewis? How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, man. I gotta tell you. So I have an interesting week. I'm heading out of town in a couple of days, attending a big dance competition. So we're gonna be up at Deerhurst over the long weekend, but we're heading up like Wednesday night. So this is like one of those weird things where it's like I have to get laundry all done during the day. We have to pack in the evenings, and there's like 4 of us plus the dog heading up. So for me, I'm trying to there's a lot of shit I have to watch too, John. So I'm trying to balance it all out, man. I've actually resorted to watching stuff on the treadmill at the gym every morning. So just to be able to cram it all in.
Getting those steps in and catching up on all the cool stuff. Yeah, so what's up? I see Lewis and Steve in the chat. Yeah, it's just been I noticed that it rained like crazy today. I did a crap ton of weeding yesterday, so my wrist is absolutely destroyed right now.
It was the weeding that destroyed your wrist. Yeah.
Weeding.
Okay.
Weeding.
Yeah. Did you say kneading or weeding?
No, weeding. I can show you piles of weeds to prove it.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome, folks. We talk about all kinds of fun stuff on this show. So if you haven't tuned in a while, we'd like to talk about your weekend. That's kind of what we've been doing lately, kind of talking about the stuff we watched or saw over the weekend, or catch your recommendations. So Rob, I'll go first because my weekend was pretty tight. I only got to watch the latest episode of We Own This City, so the HBO Max show, or On Crave, Jen Brenthal, the Gun Trace Task Force, tongue twister there.
There you go.
And very spiritual successor of The Wire. Very good show, very in depth. I find they're doing a really good job of showing how it's about dirty cops and kind of all that kind of stuff. They're doing a good job of showing how exactly that turn kind of happens. It starts off with like one little thing and like all these kind of like little things building up in their lives, and it just snowballs. So I'm really enjoying that show. But Rob, I hope you got up to a lot more this weekend than I did.
Listen, I finished off my J.J. Abrams Star Trek trilogy with Star Trek Beyond. And then, John, there's a show on Netflix. It's a 6-episode show, written and produced and starring our local Scarborough boy, Mike Myers, called The Pentaverate. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this thing or not.
I saw the thumbnail and it looks really wacky.
It is very wacky. So I watched all 6 episodes of that. Listen, it's worth its watch, but like if you are an Austin Powers fan, seeing him do different characters, cool. You're not going to want to blow through it because it's 6 episodes, so okay, it's 3 hours of your time if you really wanted to get through it all. But I would say watch it over a couple of days, 2 episodes a day, and you'll enjoy it. It's funny. It's just kind of dated a little bit, but it's funny. I enjoyed it. It was okay.
Is it like a Jean-Claude Van Johnson thing where he's like playing himself or something?
No, he plays these. It's essentially it's about this secret society like the Illuminati and all the Pentaverate. They're behind a whole, and he plays all of these like 9 different characters throughout the course of the movie, different members of this Pentaverate. It's about a journalist called Ken Scarborough. And he essentially infiltrates the Pentaverate and try to tell this story. And he works at CACA News in Hamilton, actually the really cool thing is, John, and I wish I could remember the guy's name, at the very end of the very last episode, there's like an end credit scene where if you were a fan of CTV News, or CFTO News in Toronto way back in the day, there was a guy, Ken something or other. Anyways, he interviewed a very young Mike Myers, and this is who Myers kind of Ken Cochran, I think his name was, or whatever. At any rate, it's a pretty cool. If you're like, oh my god, I forgot about that guy, because he's long dead and gone. But that was kind of neat.
And
So
who
if you're
watches TV anymore? Everything's stream. Everything's on streams.
So at any rate, that was cool. And also I'm half an hour away from finishing Super Pumped, the Battle for Uber. And that's
okay, yeah, I saw that thumbnail.
Yeah, that's on Crave. And it is hella cool to watch, man. I have like literally blown through that series in the last like 2 days. So I have half an hour left, 7 episodes, or about an hour each. So I think I started it one episode Saturday night, and like I said, I have half an hour of the final episode today to watch. So definitely recommend checking that out.
Yeah.
9 Clockwork. Right. There we go.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Lewis, for the assist. So yeah, Lewis sadly says his AC isn't working, and they're not turning, it's not that it's not working. He says in his condo they're not turning it on until the 24th, which damn, that's like a week away. Like, that's gotta hurt. So sorry to you, Lewis.
Sorry. Steve said he started watching 4 episodes. So now I really want to watch this. I need to have the right frame of mind. I was super excited to see that these guys are back. I'm a big Kids in the Hall fan, or a fairly large size Kids in the Hall fan. So I'm excited to get into that. Steve's watched 4 episodes. I've heard it's phenomenal. So I'm excited to jump into that.
Yeah. I was surprised I didn't hear you raving about it, because you were like really, really hyped about it.
Be careful, or I'm going to crush your head.
Yeah. I crush your head.
That was my weekend, buddy. That's what I got up to.
Okay, so it looks like you slowed down a little bit. You didn't conquer any books or read any novels.
I'm still reading that one book, or whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm still, Project Hail Mary. I'm almost halfway through. I'm going to probably finish it this weekend while I'm up at Deerhurst.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It's nice to have a nice book with you. I wish I was a reader. It looks cool. To see people walking around with books and stuff.
I wish I could bring an Omni with me while I'm sitting by the pool, but I just think it'd be way too.
They'd have to develop special omnibus carrying cases for you to take them into public. But I feel like that's a big no. You to that. Shout outs to anyone who got to see Doctor Strange this weekend. It's only been 2 weeks since Doctor Strange dropped. So we're going to keep our content to a minimum. We did do a podcast covering it in depth. So check that out, the Heroes World podcast. And we also talked about the new Star Trek show, Strange New Worlds. Is it Strange New Worlds?
Strange New Worlds, yeah.
Or Strange New Adventures. I don't know.
Nope. Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. I can't wait for the new episode this week. So I'm really digging that show. So hopefully we get to talk about episode 2. Next thing we're going to talk a little bit about things at the shop, and then Rob's going to go over the latest geek and nerd news. And then we're going to talk a little bit about summer blockbuster or just summer movies. What do you guys have for summer? So get your list ready, folks. We're going to go through each month and list them off so you can help us with your input there. So Lewis and Fraser just saw Doctor Strange on the weekend. They said it was great. Yeah, so I hope everyone got a chance to enjoy that. I don't know what's opening this week, but I guess we're going to talk about that later. But someone told me it was Jurassic Park, but I think Jurassic Park is on our list for summer movies. So I don't know what they were thinking. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a little strange. But yeah, if you're not following us on the Heroes World online on the Facebook and Instagram, we do post all the brand new comic book releases every Monday. I hit the button on the wrong button again, so it was posted on Sunday. So you got it a day early, but whatever. Whatever works for you people. So thank you for following us on there and checking us out. So let us know if you need any new comics this week. So Wednesday is New Comic Book Day officially for us. So check that out. Let me show you some cool stuff, Rob. So I'm going to go over some pre-orders here. Oh, actually, no, this is stuff we just got in stock at the store. So we got in the latest McFarlane wave of the DC Multiverse, which is the Dark Knight Returns stuff. So you can get, there's 4 figures. There's a Joker, a Superman, a Robin, and a Batman. And they each come with parts of a horse. So you can build this giant mamma jamma horse for Batman to ride, or Superman if you want, if Superman's being lazy. I don't know.
Or Robin. Or just use the horse's head and put it in the bed of Barbie. And
So if you've never read Dark Knight Returns, it's a really fun book. It's probably one of the definitive Batman books, art wise and storyline wise. It kind of takes place in a futuristic time where Batman is kind of take no prisoners kind of mythology. So check it out, Frank Miller. It's a classic. Let me see what else we got here. What else did I pull here? Okay, so I decided to pull some Sideshow art prints, Rob. So I decided to try something different. I don't know if you remember this movie. It was originally called
the Emancipation of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Is that?
I think it was the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. and then they rechanged it to Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn, or Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Anyways, they actually released a bunch of art prints for them, so they're about $95 USD each. There's 3 of them, so you can get the whole set, and they're 24 by 18. Would you have any desire to obtain these? They do look kind of sweet, but I feel like that movie didn't fire for everybody.
Yeah, I don't. They look really cool. I have zero interest in owning any of those prints.
Yeah. So if you're a fan, though, this is cool. I did like this version of Black. Who did Journey Smollett? Yeah, Black Canary. Yeah. I did like that version, and there was talk about a spin-off. I don't know if that's still going to happen.
I think so. I'm not going to lie, John. I haven't seen this since it was in the theaters in January of 2020. So like I have it's on stream. I've never rewatched it.
Yeah. It has a very TV movie feel to it.
Yeah,
I remember enjoying it in the theaters, and then I tried to rewatch it, and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
So sometimes some things are watch once. Let me show you this other art print that you might like a little nicer. Check out this cool Galactus. Comes in 2 different styles. One is kind of like brighter yellows and purples and stuff, and one is like a kind of like colder. I guess you would call it warm and cold tones. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm not an art student, but it's a really nice piece. $90 USD. I know I'm not. You son of a bitch. Anyways, limited 350 pieces. They're 24 by 18, so they're going with the same general size, which is a nice standard poster-ish size. I feel like it's a little bit smaller than a standard movie poster. But man, I'm not even a Galactus fan, and when I kind of look at it closely, it looks so crazy that I'm actually tempted to try one of these. Like it looks really, really cool.
I prefer the one on what's looking for me on the right with the white explosion as opposed, like the yellow looks cool, but I like the really dark purples and blues with the white. That is something though, John, I would imagine is it a one of those ones that glow in the dark with the dark, you put your the black light on, because I imagine there'd be a lot of guys kids in university who would get super high and trip out looking at that with black light. So
it looks like with the heavy dark kind of outlines and stuff like that. I would actually choose the one on the left. I like the bright colors. So it's neat that they have these 2 options. So that's pretty cool. We could have completely different decors but the same poster. So it's pretty cool. I like these. So in case you forgot, Sideshow does do art prints as well. This other thing we've shown here. So everyone's seen Doctor Strange, or if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, I don't know if you like the costume spoiled or not. I feel like there's nothing to be spoiled about this costume.
No,
but Hot Toys, of course, is releasing a Doctor Strange figure. So you get a chance to check them out here. The cape comes off and kind of goes towards people, or has its own little stand, which I think is super dope. I wonder if anyone's going to be selling the cape separately without their Doctor Strange. How do you feel about this resemblance to Benedict Cumberbatch?
Well, I actually really like it. And 2 things popped out when I first saw the last photo is that one, I feel like it's a really good representation of Benny, but it kind of takes a little bit from the comic as well. I think like it's not and second, I like his hair better here, the color, than in the movie. Like I felt the movie, it was way too sprayed on black, and in this, it looks more natural. So I actually really, really down for this this face sculpt of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I think that's generally what he looks like. I don't have any issues with this. So this guy is 335 USD, available sometime between July to December in 2023. Lots of accessories and stuff like that. They've blurred out one. I don't think it's really a spoiler at all. Anyways.
Well, they did a really shitty job of blurring it out. Put it that way.
Yeah. I guess no. It just looks like he's got some smuts on his face. Anyways, we'll keep it moving. This is a premium format Psylocke statue.
Wow.
So they've been kind of diving back into their premium format line, which is their 1/4 scale statues. As far as X-Men go, you can't go wrong with a good nice Psylocke.
So you know what's really funny though? And I could be wrong, and maybe the people out there will let me know, or you'll remind me, John. But I was kind of surprised that they never did a Psylocke statue with the likeness of Olivia Munn from Apocalypse. Like I actually was really surprised that we never got something like that, to be honest with you. So
I'm sure a lot of people wanted it, even though her part was so kind of small. It was definitely one of the parts that people enjoyed most about that little period. I think was it the apocalypse one that she was in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of the few things. I think the whole movie in general just tarnished the whole thing. So if maybe she had appeared one movie earlier, or one movie later would have been worse, right? After
Yeah.
Apocalypse with Phoenix, right? So
Yeah.
she should have shown up in Days of Future Past,
Yeah.
and I
No,
think
I
she would
agree.
have been
Yeah.
all right. Yeah. So yeah, there's a beautiful piece. Here's a funky rendering of it in your weird archway
Bookshelf.
bookshelf with your Fabergé eggs or onions or whatever the hell those are. And I like the little
in
moon
a
painted in
tree.
the background.
Yeah. That's
Anyway, it's a
horrible.
nice render. But yeah,
Oh, the
625
moon comes with
USD.
it, John. You said the moon's
Yeah.
painted in the
Oh,
background.
yeah. I
It's
thought
like
they
it's part
painted
of the
it.
statue. It's part of
So
the statue.
I guess you can only display this from a particular angle because otherwise maybe the moon looks flat. I don't know.
Go back to the other photos.
Yeah, let's go back and double check this here. So it's
Oh,
pretty funny.
yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah,
it's a
you're
little,
right. Well,
yeah, okay. It might come off. Sometimes with these statues and stuff, they'll have accessories like this, and maybe you could take it off depending on the angle you're viewing at. But that's actually kind of cool.
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and then when you put in your archway here, it looks like it's a full moon. Anyway.
Yep. Congrats, buddy.
All right, so that's just the stuff I wanted to show you, Rob. And let's kick it to you for the news.
I guess I better get that ready, huh?
Yeah, you should have that news ready. Let me see what's here. Yeah, so Lewis says it's a flat background. Yeah, so shout outs to the cookie-like moon.
It does look like a cookie. It looks like a where's the Cookie Monster? You could replace Psylocke with Cookie Monster, and that'd be it. All right, bud. Listen, thank you to everybody who is tuning in live and listening to us go on, as well as those who are listening after the fact. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out the Heroes World podcast, myself, John, and Stu, as he said earlier, we reviewed episode 1 of the new Star Trek show, Strange New Worlds. Episode 2 is already out. So if you liked episode 1, hey, you should go check out episode 2. It's a lot of fun. And we also did a review of Doctor Strange, full of spoilers. So if you have seen the movie and you want to hear our thoughts on it, including what I think might be a bit of an interesting take from all three of us, because it was lukewarm for some and others really enjoyed it. So definitely you want to check out that review and like and subscribe. So thanks so much. And we're going to get into the news. And hey, John.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
You know, I'm kind of sad that our friend Scott's not here. I'm hoping he'll listen to this afterwards. But you know how we here at the Sidekick Show are big fans of Denis Villeneuve's Dune movie? Well, part 2 will start filming very soon, and it has been announced that Oscar winner and man who smuggles watches out of enemy lines in his backside, Christopher Walken, has joined the cast as Emperor Shaddam IV. Walken joins returning cast members, including Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Josh Brolin, and newcomers Florence Pugh and Austin Butler. So, John, are you excited to see Christopher Walken grace the big screen once again?
Yeah, I love Walken. I think he's great. If you haven't, I saw that his Daft Punk video was trending on YouTube for a second there. So if you haven't seen Weapon of Choice, definitely check that out. That's the song, right? Weapon of Choice.
Yep.
Great one. And then one of my favorite roles was when he was the bad guy in that rock movie, The Rundown. And he's just like, I built you guys a town. Just kind of like going on. And he was a really funny bad guy. So I look forward to him playing. I assume this is not going to be any kind of comedic role at all.
No.
If the first Dune is any indication of what to expect
from
a follow-up.
Yeah. But you
never know. Maybe they'll turn it into a buddy comedy a la Bad Boys.
Hey, do you know why that Fatboy Slim song was trending, John? That video?
No.
Well, because I didn't pull up the lyrics, but in the video there are lyrics that are taken from Dune, and so people are like, "Oh my God, the song!" It essentially told the future that he was going to be the emperor. Yeah, it's something of that apparently the emperor says in the book, and he kind of mouths the words or whatever during that video of him dancing. So that's why it was trending. Okay, hey John, you want to hear the most non-shocking news of the decade?
Okay, what is it?
Well, back in March during the Oscars, to appear hip and cool, the Academy decided to elicit us common folk to vote for our quote-unquote fan favorite moment and the cheer moment from our 2021 movies. It ended up being that Zack Snyder's Justice League got the cheer moment, and Army of the Dead got the fan favorite moment, if you remember. Well, an investigation into the polling was conducted, and it was found that the voting was rigged. John, can you believe it? It appears.
You know what? When we found out Spider-Man didn't win, we definitely paused and went,
Yeah, something doesn't seem right here. It appears as though online bots were used to highly inflate the votes for Snyder's movies. And John, tell me this has you shook, because as much as I like Justice League and like watching the Flash run back in time, into the Speed Force, that definitely did not win, coolest moment, cheer moment of the year. So are you shook on this one, John?
I definitely knew something was up when the what they were competing against was announced, and you're like, kind of like, yeah, this is really odd. But you know what? Snyder Cut is trending all the time on Twitter, so I figured they united and created, some type of wave. I was more so surprised about the Army of the Dead win over, I forgot what it was up against, but it does 100% make sense, and I'm not at all surprised by this result. But we kind of just forgot about it, right? We kind of were like, all right, whatever.
Well, I think it got overshadowed by a certain slap to the face. So, hey, John, do you know how we're big fans of Reacher on Amazon Prime? Well, star Alan Ritchson has joined the cast of Fast 10, along with newcomers Brie Larson and Jason Momoa. Now, no idea on who Ritchson is playing, but John, does this pump up your level of excitement for Fast 10?
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. I think one of the issues with Fast and why some people it's not firing as hot as it used to be, or not hitting the NOS or the boost, is because some of the cast, I feel like we've seen their stories kind of run their course. So we definitely need some new blood, and I think he definitely fits. Alan fits the bill. And it's nice that it's kind of his time to shine. He's come a long way from playing Aquaman in Smallville, which I believe was his very first role.
It was,
to all the way to Titans, Hawk and Titans and things like that. And then, Jack Reacher is a smash hit. So I think you do need a younger generation. I did remember when they introduced the character who was Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood, I think. I actually really liked those new characters, and they kind of just dropped it. Even the Kurt Russell character disappeared. So I was kind of like, they had something, and then they all the new stuff went away. So I'm hoping to see more new stuff. I think they should keep going and getting people that want to be in this franchise. So stop calling The Rock up. Let him do his thing. So how about you, Rob? You were lukewarm about the last movie. What do you think about this addition of I think you like this actor, right?
Yeah, I do. Listen, all respect to Alan Ritchson, this is not going to propel me to go. I will see this movie because my son is a big Fast and Furious fan, so I'm stuck going to see this stupid thing. I do wonder if he is playing because Alan Ritchson's jacked, and I wonder if they're going to do one of those plastic surgery things, and it's John Cena. He's had surgery, and it comes out to be Alan Ritchson.
I don't think so.
Because then you really wouldn't be able to see John Cena. Speaking of Amazon Prime, John, and shows starring Jack Ryan, starring John Krasinski, will end after season 4. Now, this is really interesting, John, because we haven't gotten season 3 yet.
I was like, wait, I know I'm behind. And I know I know I was at least a season behind, but I didn't know I was 2 seasons behind.
Right, yeah. So now this is interesting. Sorry, we already said that. So the show is going to end with season 4, and a spin-off show starring Michael Pena, who will be part of season 4, is in the works. Now there's no date for season 3 as of yet. Season 2, John, came out way back on November 1st, 2019. So are you excited for the return of Jack Ryan? One. Mm-hmm. And then what are your thoughts on Pena stepping into the show? Because for me, it kind of reminds me a little teensy bit about what they did with Narcos Mexico season 2. So John, is this something that you're cool with?
Okay,
Are you excited?
you'll have to explain the Narcos because I don't watch Narcos. But when you, I guess you get to put your input in. But first things first, yeah, I'm behind. I didn't watch season 2, but I did enjoy season 1. I know there was kind of mixed reviews. Some people were big fans of it, some people weren't. I actually really quite enjoyed it. So I do want to sit down and watch season 2. But maybe I'll wait till season 3 is on deck and I'll watch 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But I think some of these series run their course. So having it not be 8 to 10 seasons is probably a good thing. You can consume it. It's nice. It's tight. But then my thoughts on Michael Pena. It's hard for me to get past. Remember, he played Army in The Shield, and is kind of a dick. He pulled a real dick move in that. But if you watch The Shooter with Mike Wahlberg, and he kind of is trained by Wahlberg in this kind of like military thing, and he picks it all up really quickly. I think the rumor is he's playing Ding Chavez, who is a main player in Rainbow Six. I remember him in the video game very often. They would be saying his name and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm 100% down. I think he's a really good actor, and I think he's being able to play all kinds of different parts. So I'm enjoying it. So you have other thoughts?
Yeah, no. Well, listen, I mean, to be very honest with you, I actually kind of forgot about Jack Ryan. I actually really liked season 2. I thought it was way better than season 1. Jack Ryan on Prime, so I definitely recommend going and checking it out.
Good.
As for Michael Pena, yeah, I think Steve asked, is this the same guy that was in Ant-Man? And he's Luis. Yeah, Luis. Yes, that's the same guy. He showed up. I want to say it was Narcos Mexico season 2. Maybe it was season 1, but it was, anyways, it came off of a pre-existing Narcos thing. He was only in it for 1 season, spoilers. And it was okay. It was fine. But I gotta tell you, like, I don't know. And this is no disrespect to Michael Pena, but I look at him, I don't look at him as an action guy. He doesn't have the look of an action guy, right? I'm a big Patton Oswalt fan, but I wouldn't be putting him in an action role either. He wouldn't be stepping in for a Jack Reacher spinoff, right?
He got to kick some ass and Justified. So do you remember Shooter at all? He kind of like really leveled up in Shooter towards the end. I think he played a really good part.
So we'll see how it all turns out. We'll see. I mean, but again, Jack Ryan is not really an action. It's very different than Reacher, right? It's not a hand-to-hand. It's more of a thinking action spy thing. So I'm down for it in that way, but we'll just see how it has to go. I'm just looking more. I just want to get more information on when season 3 is coming out. That would at least appease me somewhat. And finally, John, last week we discussed news of a new Doctor Who being cast. If you remember, that was Ncuti Gatwa. Yesterday, it was announced that fan favorite Doctor David Tennant will return in some capacity in 2023 and will be joined by his companion Donna. Now, we don't know if the 2 are returning for 1 episode, 2 episodes, a special, some flashbacks. We have no idea. But today a pic was taken during filming that was done out in London, showing Tennant back in the role with a different overcoat. So if you were a Doctor Who fan, you will recognize he's got the suit is the same.
It's different overcoat, you're saying.
Yes, the trench coat is back, but everything's the same. His hair is the same. The suit's practically the same. I don't think it has the pinstripes. But and then breaking just 2-3 hours ago, John, is they also announced that Yasmin Finney has been cast as Rose. And John has a photo. Now, John, you're not a Doctor Who fan, but I'm going to say this. When Russell T Davies, who was the returning showrunner, when he kicked off the show in 2005, Christopher Eccleston was a doctor. He regenerated to David Tennant, but Rose, as played by Billy Tyler or something or other, she is a Caucasian woman, and she was on the first 4 seasons, including Tennant's run. And then she left the series. Now, we have no idea. Is this Rose that we're looking at here by Yasmin Finney? Is it a multiverse Rose? Is it from a different universe? I no idea what's going on. But I guess my question is, and I know that you're not a Doctor Who fan. I know Lewis might be. Billy Piper, thanks, Lewis. But isn't this kind of like, I know that they're now filming, so obviously the pictures are leaking out. But I kind of feel it takes away a bit of the thunder of this new Doctor Who was announced last week. And we got this new guy. He's stepping in. It's the first black male actor to incumbent this role. And then literally 6 days later, it's like, oh, by the way, we're bringing back your favorite and his companion and a new version of his other companion. And isn't this great? So I'm a little mixed as to what's happening here. So those in the comments, let me know what you think. But John, again, you don't watch the show, but what are your thoughts of this weird
it kind of
announcements?
Yeah, it kind of sucks because this is the day and age that we live in, that so much information is kind of like it's not even like it's being accidentally like shared or whatever. It's being sought after. There's people hacking things. There's people sneaking on the set. There's people purposely trying to pull this stuff and post it up as soon as possible. You know, the clickbait news cycle. So there's not really going to be a lot of mystery to it. Yeah, maybe they stole his thunder by dropping this other announcement, or maybe they've taken some of the pressure off. You know what I mean? You don't want too much kind of on you when you're stepping into this new role. I think you said he was only a 20 something, so he's a young guy as well. So maybe he doesn't mind some of the heat kind of being taken off him and going, oh, by the way, we're getting some of your old kind of veteran and recognized people as well as this new doctor, and we're going to kind of set him up. It's kind of like the idea is like you're setting him up for success. You're going, hey, we're going to bring in elements of the old, but you are the new doctor, and then we're going to kind of put all these other people in place. So being close to the property at all, it does have me semi-interested. It sounds kind of exciting that they're throwing all these stuff in here. There's new doctor, there's returning old doctors, there's all kinds of other stuff going on. So what about you? Do you feel like they should have given like him an exclusive? You said they usually announce this thing with a whole bunch of hoopla, laser beams, a whole bunch of sky and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So now it'll be interesting to see what happens, because the final episode with Jodie Whittaker as the current doctor airs sometime this fall. And then we are not getting a new episode until the fall of 2023. So it will be very interesting to find out how they integrate the new doctor and then what is happening. So again, we don't know. Is it like one, like a big long movie type, like 2 episodes slammed together with Tennant coming back kind of helping pave the way to bring the viewers back for this new doctor? I have no idea.
Maybe he bridges the gap. You know,
it could.
Unfortunately, we're getting all this news without context or things like that, right? So maybe he might be on just for an episode to bridge this gap.
Who knows?
New doctor, or it could be random 2-parter in the middle of the series. And
people are really excited. People online are pretty excited because David Tennant was like is a lot of like new Whovians' favorite guy. So I'm happy that he's coming back. The Dr. Donna returns. We got a new Rose and a new doctor. So 2023 is shaping up to be an interesting year for Doctor Who across the world. And that, John, is the news.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Rob. I feel like we've got a little bit of time. Can I throw a couple other
buddy,
clickbait things that I saw? Okay. I did see an article today that mentioned we saw a whole bunch of CW shows being announced that they're canceled. The rumor was that they didn't want to renew the lease on the lot where I guess all the sets are housed and stuff like that. Does that suck, or does that seem to make sense to you, or is it an indication of how the show is performing, that they're like, yeah, sorry, we're not renewing these assets that we have lying around, and all you guys got to move on to new projects and stuff?
Well, so a little bit of backstory on that is that the companies that own the CW are actually looking to sell it. And as anybody who's gone through mergers or sell-offs or acquisitions know, is that usually you trim the fat to make the product a lot more enticing to those who might be looking to purchase it. And the studio spots out in Vancouver, there's only so many. And in fact, I had just read somewhere that one of the shows, they got in late and they had to end up filming at this old warehouse that was like an old Sam's warehouse or an old Costco warehouse or something like that, right? And it was just like really unideal because it was a horrible location. But the film studios, they're being booked so far in advance, and there's a lot of money to renew those leases, and it's not on a year-to-year basis. It's like for like a few years to book your time. So the parent company of CW is like, listen, we need to dump this, and there is rumor of in the US, John, there's a lot of these cable companies own multiple stations. It's not like Bell and Rogers. It's kind of like a Comwave or whatever, and they own a bunch of the TV stations, littered throughout parts of the states. They're apparently the ones that are looking to purchase this one company to purchase a CW, but it's just too inflated right now. So that is, I think, the crux of the story is that the reality is Legends, Batwoman, and some of these other shows were cut because they didn't want to renew those leases on those studios to make the sale of the CW a lot more enticing to potential purchasers.
Yeah. Oh man. Look at that. Look at that. I threw a random rumor at Rob, and Rob had all the information to debunk or confirm said rumor. So that's pretty good, Rob. Have you noticed on Twitter there's a lot of save either Legends or Batwoman or whatever campaigns going on. Any post on anything DC related,
Yeah.
you'll see a couple tweets on it. Hey, save Legends of Tomorrow, and then it'll be like, oh, I think they got a billboard for save Batwoman and all this kind of stuff. So you know what? Good luck to you fans. Maybe it'll work. It worked for Snyder Cut. So maybe it'll work in this case. Can I throw one more at you, Rob?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So did you see this article? John Woo set to finally remake his own classic, The Killer, on Peacock. Would you want to see a Killer remake with John Woo and renewed year 2023 resources behind him? One of the movies that we did not include in our 90s, or would it be 80s? Would it be in the 80s bracket, The Killer?
No,
89. Yeah, it would have been in that. Yeah, 89. It would have just made.
Oh, really? It was 89?
80s bracket. Yeah, but we didn't want to include import or foreign films.
I don't know. You know what? I feel like remakes of people's own, there's a very small group of individuals who've been able to do it. I think probably the most successful to remake their own property was Michael Mann in Heat, because that was like a made-for-TV movie from 1986. So, I don't know. I would like John Woo to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd rather that than have to remake The Killer. I don't know.
Yeah. It's been a million years since I watched The Killer, so I don't even know. I can't even remember what was there story wise. And I think if I start to think, I'll probably mix it up with Hard Boiled because those movies were so entangled together. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like modern technology would kind of make for something cool. But yeah, like you said, they could remake something new. He did. What did he do? Gemini Man? Was he the one that directed Gemini Man, or was no?
I don't think so. I don't think that was John Woo. I will let you know in 2 seconds. I would be shocked to shit. I don't think he's done anything in a long time.
Oh, okay. I think he did maybe some Hong Kong movies. Maybe he hasn't come back to American films or whatever.
Ang Lee did.
Yes, different Asian director. My bad.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look to see what John Woo has done as of late, because I don't think he has done anything stateside recently.
Maybe you'd rather see a Hard Target remake. No.
Well, they're supposed to be doing a new version of Face Off, right?
Yes.
The last movie he directed was Manhunt in 2017. And that was I think it was a Hong Kong movie.
Yeah. So nothing stateside in a while. So we'll see. I don't know if that was true or not or whatever. I just saw the article published. But thank you everybody for sticking with us for the news.
The last the last movie stateside he made was Paycheck in 2003.
Oh, was it Ben Affleck, right?
Yes. Ben Affleck and Aaron Eckhart, Uma Thurman. That was the last movie. That's 20 years. Almost 20 years ago. That was his last movie.
I haven't seen that. That was on my to watch list. Anyone who's seen that, do you remember? Do you recall it at all? I remember hearing it was all right.
I think I recall it not being that great.
Rob remembers it as being mediocre at best.
Yeah.
If anyone remembers it, let us know. I don't know if I should, bump it back up the list or just leave it in the land of the forgotten. But thank you everybody for joining us. As always, you guys in the chat always are what makes it so much fun. And Rob, thank you for putting up with my nonsense. So let's get into it. Let's talk about blockbuster or not blockbuster or summer territory movies. So we're talking about June, July, August. I did want to include Top Gun coming up next week, but I think we're going to be talking enough about Top Gun because when we announce next week's movie or topic for the show. I think we'll all have a little fun with it. So
Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle, yeah, Iron Eagle, or what's that other movie that people kept recommending to us to watch with
Remo Williams?
Remo Williams, yeah, we could go with Remo Williams.
We actually should, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you want to do, Rob? Do you want me to pop up? I got pictures of the posters and stuff, so we'll go through the list, folks, and we want to get your import. Oh man.
Input.
Long day. Input on what you guys want to see most during each month, or what you're most hyped for, or maybe what you think is going to be trash if you feel like it. We've got our kind of like favorite picks and maybe our runners up. So let's talk a little bit about June.
Well, yeah, and let me just preface by saying, John, that man, summer blockbusters used to have like one every week. One major movie was coming out, right? Like, and I get we're still in COVID times, but I was kind of surprised at the lack of like the amount, the lack of movies that were coming out. There's not as many big tentpole summer blockbuster movies, so it'll be very interesting to see how this goes for tonight.
Yeah, I feel like a lot more movies might have went head to head back in the day, like big movies. But I feel like everyone's kind of giving everyone almost like a 2-week buffer or something like that. It's a little bizarre, but yeah, I thought the list was a little more sparse than I thought. So let's look at some movie posters for June 2022. So let me just get it rolling here. So we got Adam Sandler's movie Hustle going straight to Netflix. If you haven't seen Uncut Gems, 100% watch that. But that looks pretty good. And then the Jurassic Park. This is the third Jurassic Park, I think.
Jurassic World. The third Jurassic World. Yeah.
Jurassic World. Should I just fly through all of them, and then we'll work our way back?
Yeah, Jurassic World Dominion or Domination. I don't know. Something
like that. A new Jurassic Park movie.
Jurassic World.
I still haven't seen the other ones. So shout out to that. Let me show the other one. So Lightyear, the Pixar Buzz Lightyear super serious version or something like that. This is an image from Chris Helmsworth Netflix movie called Spiderhead, I believe.
So he was actually talking tonight online about a trailer dropping in the next couple of days. So keep your eye out for that.
It was odd that it's right around the corner, and this is like the best thing I could find for it. So shout outs to that. Let's go Halftime, starring Jennifer Lopez, and Where the Crawdads Sing. I don't know if you know anything about that one, Rob, but
I do not.
Uninteresting to me.
No idea. I've never. It's based on a book. I have no idea. Oh yes,
Ethan Hawke in The Black Phone, which looks like it's got some from the something of Doctor Strange and
it's Scott Derrickson, the writer Robert Cargill, who is the writer and co-writer of Doctor Strange and the director, Black Phone. It's a horror movie, John, so you'll definitely not watch it because you're scared.
I don't know. I feel like I'm falling into this horror pocket, so I might check it out. And then Elvis with Austin Butler and Tom Hanks. And then we have Shotgun Wedding with Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel, which actually I'm surprised that I'm actually semi-interested.
1997? Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm calling. You got a movie that somehow made it back up to 2022.
and I pulled this whack ass video on demand direct to DVD equivalent, Eraser Reborn, which is a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Vanessa Williams vehicle,
right?
But starring two relatively new people. I'm not familiar with either of these performers. But I kind of want to check it out just because I'm curious as to who really asked for this. I'm a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. I do own, maybe I'll grab my Laserdisc after. I actually do own Eraser on Laserdisc. And it was one of my favorites back in the day. It's a fun movie. He shoots an alligator and tells him to become luggage.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to see an alligator get shot, watch Lake Placid with Betty White.
All right, so for June, Rob, what movie are you feeling? Let us know in the comments if you're feeling any of these. I saw a lot of mess and no's in the comments, so I don't know what you guys are feeling for this. Do you need me to go back and flash the pictures by for you?
So I'll tell you, listen, for me, John, like you and I made the agreement we're only going to pick one, and then, like, we're excited for a one runner up. So I am eliminating Jurassic World because I'm definitely going to be seeing it anyways. I'm kind of lukewarm on watching this movie. I wasn't really a big fan of the second one, but whatever. I know my son wants to go see it, so I've eliminated that because I'm already seeing it. Here's one that is my most excited to watch for June. And it's one that shocked the shit out of me because I'm not a big fan of Elvis. I know of his music.
Okay.
How do you not know? I'm 46 years old, right? So I'm obviously very well aware of Elvis, the man, the legend, the myth, all that bullshit. But this movie trailer has me hooked like anything. I am like super stoked to see this movie. And I cannot wait. And the reviews, the word of mouth and the buzz is that Austin Butler does a fantastic job. He sings all those songs himself. I'm a sucker for these biopic movies as is, but there's just something. And you know, John, Elvis Presley was a huge fan of Captain Marvel. And in fact, he actually designed his costume to look a little bit like Captain Marvel when he got into the sequin phase of his career. And there's a lot. You can actually see him in the trailer reading a Shazam comic book and everything else like that. So I'm down for Elvis. That's my most excited pick of June. But my runner up, as much as it's like you would think it'd be Spider or whatever with Hemsworth, Black Phone. I am super stoked to see Phone Booth, I think it's called. No, Black Phone. What's it called?
No, Black Phone.
Black Phone. Yeah. I'm super stoked to see it. It was originally supposed to come out in February. Obviously, got delayed because of COVID, but the trailer is unreal. So those two movies, funny enough, you had them both on the same page. So I'm stoked to see that.
Yeah. So shout outs to those, the great picks, Rob. Yeah, like it's really weird. I thought there was going to be a clear winner for me, but I think Hustle, which is the Adam Sandler movie, just because Uncut Gems was such a gem to watch. And I didn't experience it in theater, so I feel like I owe it to Adam Sandler to see. I was gonna maybe see this in theaters, but you said it's dropping on Netflix on June 8th, so yeah. I think that's an easy watch for me. I'm 100% gonna watch it. I do enjoy being able to just fire up the Netflix and watch that. I don't know why the Lightyear thing. I know some people are going crazy for Lightyear, but I'm not feeling it. I'm actually feeling this Jennifer Lopez, Josh Duhamel shotgun wedding.
You are. This does not surprise me. Like, this does not surprise me.
Because both performers kind of transport me back in the day. I feel like Jennifer Lopez, like, her movie that sticks out of my head is probably Selena. But a lot of people shout out Made in Manhattan and all those kind of like rom-coms.
I would have thought you were gonna say Out. What was the one with George Clooney?
Out of Sight.
Out of Sight. Right? I thought you were gonna say Out of Sight.
I heard that's good. I don't think I've watched it. I definitely don't think I've watched it.
It is good.
I heard it's good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Lewis, I know I said biopic. I meant to say biopic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did I miss Chip and Dale, or is that at the end of this month?
It's the end of this month, and it's going to be dropping on Disney Plus. So that's the whole thing about Lightyear, right? It's like, it looks okay. It's not really intriguing me. If my kids really wanted to go see it, I would probably take them. Mm-hmm. But I think I would just wait because it's probably going to drop on Disney Plus like in August or September anyways. So
yeah. Will you pay the early viewing fee though?
No.
Or are you going to wait the whatever? Yeah. I feel like I'm in the same position. Maybe if my kids were really into it, they do really like Toy Story, but I don't think they're going to be into this because it looks super serious.
Yeah. But we could be wrong.
I do like. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll see how that shakes out. I don't know. It looks like nobody really made picks for this one, so I guess people were not feeling it. The most attention went to Jurassic Park, and most people saying it looks stupid, but they're gonna watch it. I guess you got to complete the trilogy, so it's gonna win on that merit alone. But let's jump to July and keep things rolling, and we'll cycle back if we need to, folks. So thanks everyone for participating. So July 2022. So this will be like dead middle of the summer, I guess. So we've got Minions: Rise of Gru. I don't know what number movie this is in that saga.
5.
And we have Thor: Love and Thunder. Big vehicle. I saw the trailer during Doctor Strange. Bullet Train with our guy Brad Pitt and a host of other characters. Looks incredibly fun. A Jordan Peele movie called Nope. I assume that's horror.
Yeah.
I do like some of the names on this poster though. Kiki Palmer, I'm a big fan. Steve Ewan, I like his voice on Invincible. I don't know if I've seen many of his film projects though. Blazing Samurai, I like that shot with the
Yeah.
with the sumo wrestler and the Hello Kitty. I don't know what it is. I believe it's a follow up to some other kids
Well,
movie.
I think it reminds me of Kung Fu Panda, to be honest with you. So
Yeah. It kind of looks in that vein. The Gray Man,
yeah,
which I'm pretty sure that's Chris Evans on the cover, right?
it's Chris Evans, it's Ryan Gosling, and it is written and directed by the Russo brothers.
Oh, so this could be big, and I believe it is also based off a book that has Lee Child's endorsement on it. But I don't know. It could just be a similar name. But I know there is a book called The Gray Man as well. So maybe we'll look that up later. DC League of Super Pets. I feel like that's purely kids territory. A remake of Father the Bride. I put the inset picture here. I'm not sure who asked for this, but
I saw the trailer last week. Yeah.
So that's all. That's it. I don't know if there was anything else on the list that I maybe crossed off. I know there was a Ruby Rose project called One Up through some type of streaming service that has no information on it on the net. So I suspect it is possibly canceled or they're going to reveal it last minute. Yeah. So Scott says nobody asked for it. I believe it features a different culture or something like that. So
Latina.
Shout outs to them. Yeah. Cuban, I think is the main theme. But yeah, so Rob, I feel like this is slim pickings other than we did a trailer reaction to Bullet Train.
Yep.
This Gray Man's got me somewhat interested, but what are you feeling here?
Yeah, so for me, again, I'm going to go with Thor: Love and Thunder is a gimme. We're obviously seeing that. We're going to be reviewing it here. So I don't include that because it's a gimme. For me, I'm excited for Bullet Train and The Gray Man, which I've been hearing a lot about for the past year or so. It is adapted from a book by Mark Greaney. So you're right, John.
And I'm pretty sure it's got Lee Child's author of Jack Reacher seal of approval. I did put a link to the audiobook / paperback through our Amazon affiliate links in the YouTube description if you want to check it out. I'm a sucker for audiobooks, so I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm really, really stoked to see this. Now, I believe we may get a trailer for this, John, the next little while. Netflix is doing their Netflix Geeked week coming up, and they're going to be dropping a lot of trailers for their stuff that's coming out over the summer and fall. So we're definitely going to get a trailer for this. But I got to tell you, man, like I'm a Ryan Gosling fan, with Drive, and beyond the pine, whatever it was called, and Chris Evans, and it's directed by the Russo brothers. So listen, how do you go wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm down for it. The Gray Man, I'm excited for it. But Bullet Train looks like, just every time I see the trailer, and I've seen it like a dozen times, especially going to the movies as often as I have, it's always playing, and it still gets me every time. Like, I don't even want to talk to people, Joe. I just want to watch that trailer because I'm so mesmerized. So, that's what I'm. Yeah.
I think my number one pick is the Thor: Love and Thunder. I wasn't hyped for it before, but I did see the trailer during Doctor Strange. It looks pretty good. I really, really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok in theaters at the time. I have not been able to recreate that feeling by watching at home. So I think that is 100% going to be a movie-going experience. Maybe get those D-box seats or maybe go see it on a nice IMAX screen. And then runner-up is definitely going to be Bullet Train because of the Brad Pitt factor. And it just looks so kooky and fun. Most of the other stuff looks like kind of like kiddie stuff or stuff that can wait for watching at home. Depends on how much
pets.
Yeah. The kids might enjoy that, but and then the Gray Man, if we see a trailer, that might be able to sway itself into the top spot. But I don't know how you're going to beat Brad Pitt in Thor Ragnarok out of that spot. So it looks like in the comments, not many people are too impressed by this month either. So
you know what? Nobody seems to be impressed by movies this summer. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Maybe we just caught everybody at a bad time. Maybe
Scott is just in a grumpy mood because he just keeps saying, "Meh, move on." Nobody asked for this. He doesn't care.
So Lewis says
Scott wants more Dune. That's what he's looking for.
Yeah, he wants less Dune actually. He says Thor, but he doesn't know and then Lewis. Yeah, so it seems like Minions he'll watch in not theaters. So yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I feel like everyone's gonna go see the Thor movie. I feel like
Yep.
there's no denying that. So let's move on to August, and August is going to be pretty short, folks, because there was lack of movie posters and all kinds of other stuff. So it's really bizarre. So if you guys saw something coming on August, let us know. And yeah, I see some people mentioning TV shows. I feel like TV
We're
shows
going to get into that after. We'll get into that after.
Are gonna be on fire.
Yeah, we'll quickly discuss that afterwards.
Yeah. So hopefully Rob's got the rundown for that. So I only grab pictures for movies.
No, I don't.
So August 2022, we saw the drop of a teaser trailer today of Prey, which is a new Predator movie. What did you think? I know you watched the teaser, Rob. It was very short. Yeah.
Well, it does what it does. It's a teaser, so that's good. It teased us. This is premiering in August on Hulu, and I believe it'll be up on Disney Plus. Sorry, it's Disney Plus in Canada. I like Predator 1. I like Predator 2. I've seen all the Predator movies. I've seen the Alien versus Predator movies. I've never really been overly impressed by any of them since number 2. But the idea of this one bringing it back to like way back in the day, and Native Americans hunting the predator or being hunted by the predator. It's an interesting concept. Yeah, man, I'm down. I as long as it's good, I'm down to see it. I'm hoping the fact that it's bypassing theaters and going straight to Hulu or whatever is not indicative of a shitty movie. I think it's just one of those things that it got consumed up during the Disney Fox acquisition, and they just figured, hey, let's just put this right to streaming. So
well, we've seen a lot of kind of high end TV that I feel like maybe this feel is going for. So I think it could 100% work for this, and it might not suffer anything from the going straight to digital, kind of I don't know what you call it, stigma or whatever. But yeah, it looked cool. I like that. Do you remember the other one that had like Topher Grace and Walter Goggins in it, and Lawrence Fishburne? Did it have Walter Goggins? Maybe it didn't have Walter Goggins.
You're Lawrence talking Fishburne. About Predator when they went to the world, the Predator world with.
It was kind of like a soft. It felt like a soft reboot of sorts.
Yeah, that was directed by Robert Rodriguez. They went to the alien to the Predator world.
Yeah. I feel like I did like that. And if this is kind of going back to basics, the most thrilling part of Predator 1 is when Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of goes back to, goes to ground almost per se, and makes all these traps and weapons and things out of, just nature. So I feel like this could really work, and the representation is key as well. Yep. So having this type of casting and maybe hopefully kind of educating people about this time and place will be very good. So yeah, shout outs to this. I think this might take the crown, but we'll see what else we saw. So this is a Jamie Foxx movie. I forgot what it was called, where he plays a guy who kind of is a bookstore owner or something by day, and then hunts vampires and kind of monsters at night.
It doesn't matter. The photo looks horrible. It looks super creepy.
It's kind of questionable. Project Power, we had mixed thoughts on it, I feel like. So I don't know how I feel about this until we see a trailer. It might be a little bit too wacky. Sorry, I was trying to find the name of it. What is it? Day Shift going to Netflix. So we'll see. This is not the greatest picture for them to release. So I feel like they should have released.
Oh, it looks like a really bad CGI, like a bad hand. It looks like something from a Disney. It's like Hocus Pocus.
Yes. Scott says half-ass blade. Maybe you could call it that. You can see a little bit of a shotgun down there. So release some promo pictures, guys. But it's a ways out. This Stallone vehicle called is it called Samaritan?
Yeah,
as in Good Samaritan.
Yeah,
where he's kind of like an aged or retired superhero who had thought to perished in battle, and I guess some kid kind of finds him. Right. What do you think of Stallone's look in this? Like it's different.
Listen, man, the guy's like in his late 70s, right? So good on him. I don't know. It's been very difficult to see your hero's age. Mm-hmm. There is this renewed. Well, I guess it's not new. but this thing in the last number of years where older actors have been able to step into these roles, right? You saw it with Liam, what's his face in like the Taken movies.
Yeah. Liam Neeson is going on a hell of
Liam
a tear.
Neeson,
Yeah.
and then he's still on some of those type of those really easy cheesy action flicks. Clint Eastwood has always maintained, the guy's in his 90s and he's always maintained these older types. So yeah, sure, go ahead, but it's you're either going to land it or you're not, and more often than not these things don't land very well. So we'll see how it all turns out. I mean,
yeah.
It can't be worse than the last Rambo movie, could it? So
yeah, I should have pulled a different picture. There's other pictures of him with like his hood up, and he looks a little kind of more like kind of hidden, kind of recluse or whatever you want to call it, kind of wayward, wandering type character. So yeah, shout outs to Stallone. Hopefully he can make it work. And then I will shout out this movie quick, Easter Sunday by Joe Coy. It's always fun to see these kind of culture clash type movies or whatever. So I think I definitely will check this out, but I'll probably check it out on streaming. So what do you think, Rob? Like out of those movies, there was a couple other ones on the list, but I couldn't find any information on them.
No, you know what? I think I'll use August as my time to catch up on a bunch of television shows that I haven't gotten to.
Yeah. I think the thing that looks most appealing so far is The Predator, but it's also the thing that we've seen an actual trailer for.
Well, and it's dropping out on Disney Plus, right? So I don't even have to go to the theater to see it. So that fine, good for me. That's if I have to pick one, that'll be the one I'm most looking forward to. I will say though, because people have been bringing up television shows.
Yeah.
This has been the difficult thing, John. We were doing this because I said at the start of this segment that there wasn't as many movies as you would normally see in a summer months. Usually these blockbuster movies, you have so many movies to choose from. And even compared to what we did last year, John, I feel like there's a lot less movies this summer than there were last summer. But TV series, like we have a chat with the four of us, like Andre, Stu, yourself, and me. And I've been sending you guys all these trailers over the last number of months, especially the last couple of weeks, of all these shows that are coming out in June. And so just to quickly run down, you've got For All Mankind season 3 coming out in June on Apple TV Plus, which we've talked about on this show. I know you haven't seen it, but I'm a big fan of For All Mankind. It's a fantastic show. You have the Umbrella.
That trailer you sent me. Amazing choice of song. A song so incredibly good in the trailer that it makes me want to watch this thing. And I haven't watched any of the previous stuff. So if you haven't seen it, check out the trailer for All Mankind if you like some Soundgarden, I believe, right, Bob?
Yep, Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. And then you've got The Boys season 3 coming out. You have the Umbrella Academy season 3 coming out. You have Miss Marvel coming out. We're still going to be watching Obi-Wan into June. And then you've got this new one, John, where I sent it off tonight, starring what's his face?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges in The Old Man on that premieres on FX. And like honestly, there's and I know I'm probably forgetting one of these TV shows that's supposed to be coming out in June. There are so many television shows coming out in June. I don't know how we're going to find the time to watch any of this stuff.
Yeah, the Old Man. Is it based off that old nursery rhyme? This old man.
He played 3. He played Nick.
No. Okay, I was busting Rob's chops about this. So if you don't follow the Sidekick Show page on Facebook, please give it a go.
Why don't
you
you?
posted all these trailers on there, so you can check out the trailers. But I was making fun of Rob. I was like, really, you're excited about everything you've sent me, and then I fired up this trailer for The Old Man, and I only got like maybe a couple seconds into it before I turned it off, and I was like, I'm watching this anyway, so I'm not going to watch anymore.
See?
I read the description, and it said something revenge, and then it opens with the kind of like the older gentleman going, kind of like, oh, they've come back, and I'm going to have to take care of business, and I'm like, I'm in. Why I don't need to see anymore. But do you think Jeff Bridges is going to go on a tear like Liam Neeson and have a whole genre of stuff following this TV show? Well, I guess the TV show substitutes in for for Taken movies, because it's going to probably be 8 episodes or 10 episodes on prestige TV format, right?
And I think, yeah, but I think it's like a limited series, right? So that's the nice thing about it, is that however many episodes it is, it's over and done with, unless they decide to do more. But yeah, man, it looks great. Like will this reinvent the Jeff Bridges? I mean, I believe he was sick for a while, so it's nice to see him come back. If we get more out of this, great. I just want the show to be good. But I know you didn't watch the rest of the trailer, but I watched it like twice, and I was like, I am all in. We've talked about this, John. I love these revenge, be it the Equalizer with Denzel Washington, be it like the Taken. Like I'm all take the money, take my subscription. I've got more subscription services than I know what to do with, because they always keep releasing shit like this.
Would Taken have done better if it was a TV show? Imagine if Taken season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 had happened instead of movies 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how far it got. I know it got to at least 3 movies, I think is my understanding. But maybe it would have been more well respected if it was done as a TV show. But yeah, like you said, I watched enough of it that I was like, I'm gonna watch this anyways. Let me turn this off because I don't want to see any more spoilers.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm excited. Scott says, didn't Rob recommend Fat Man? Well, that would be a couple years ago. I did. And guess what, Scott? I still haven't seen it.
So add that to the list of movies that Rob was super hyped for and recommended, which is Fat Man and Old.
Yeah. Last summer, I was like all going like old M. Night Shyamalan's back, baby. And I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, and I think Green Knight you barely got in as well. Green Knight you were like, yo, so hyped for this, and then I think theaters were kind of dicey at the time.
Right, and I rented it for the $25 when on iTunes, and I was bored silly. So
yeah. The Equalizer show I've heard is pretty good. I've watched a couple episodes. Queen Latifah is definitely the MVP of that show.
And they've actually just renewed it for 2 more seasons. And Jonathan, they've actually also greenlit an Equalizer 3 movie that's coming out next September 2023. Also directed by Antoine Fuqua, who's back to finish his trilogy with Denzel.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Equalizer movies, John?
Yeah, I've watched the first one.
Yeah, it's great.
I saw this. I don't think I saw the second one. For some reason, I wasn't super down with the flow of that first one, so I think I have to rewatch it.
Okay.
And maybe give the second one a chance. But I think I'm too caught up on when are we getting a Man on Fire sequel, Rob? Is that coming out?
You know what? It's so funny because I haven't seen that in like forever. I got to try to watch that again. But yeah, man, June is just like it's an on fire month for television shows, and you know what? It really doesn't stop. I mean, there's like a ton of shows coming out throughout the summer into the fall, including the new Westworld. John, I forgot about Westworld is coming out.
Oh yes,
Westworld season 4.
With that terrifying thumbnail for that trailer.
That's right. It might be July. It could be July. I don't know if it's July or it's June. If it's June, I'm done. I'm putting in my papers at work. I'm taking
I'm taking the month of June off. But I hope we are getting a Days of Thunder too, Lewis. So let's see what the success of Top Gun brings next week.
See, now I'm trying to look to see where that damn trailer was for what was because the House of the Dragon is in August, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look it up online, but yeah, I cannot wait for Westworld season 4.
There's a whole bunch of stuff. I think that we posted a trailer for Love and Robots and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff dropping over the summer. I feel like they're trying to lock down our summer with
they don't
TV.
Want us to leave.
Yeah. Scott made a good point. He's like, don't bother going to theaters this summer. So
yeah, June 26th, John. Westworld debuts on HBO on June 26th. Like
I'm mad behind on that show. I'm only on season 1, and I absolutely love season 1. And for some reason, I just didn't get a chance to fire up season 2. So I'm behind it, and I've got to catch up on a lot of really good shows.
Yeah.
So thanks, folks, for checking out all that stuff with us. Taking a look at those summer movies. Maybe we should have covered summer TV instead. So maybe we'll reserve an episode down the road for when all these shows start hitting, and we'll do like a episode 1 showdown or something like that. Rob, what's happening next week? I wanted to include it on our summer countdown, and I think it would have made things a little bit spicier if we included the end of May in there, because there's some heavy hitters in there. But what are we watching to prepare for next week's big drop?
John, I've got the need, buddy. I've got the need for speed. And next week on the Sidekick Show, we are re-watching Top Gun from 1986. Man, how do you get any better than this movie? I watched it, I don't know, maybe about a year or so ago, year and a half ago with my son. It still holds up. I'm really excited to watch it again. I might actually purchase a copy on Blu-ray, John. But I know that it is currently playing. Let me tell you guys, in Canada, you can watch it. My phone is just slowly. I know that it's on Paramount Plus in Canada, as well as the Crave Stars expansion. So if you don't have a copy of Top Gun, you can, and you do have Paramount Plus or Crave Stars, you can watch it there. It's currently also $15 on Apple TV, yada, yada, yada. But I suspect it'll probably be coming out for sale for $10 or so on iTunes the next week or so. But next week, Top Gun, Tom Cruise, Anthony Edwards, Val Kilmer, and Peter Petrelli's younger brother, Nathan Petrelli, in the back there. Behind
a whole host of people
Tom
in here.
Skerritt.
I feel like Michael Ironside shows up in this movie too. I can't remember who else is in it. Literally a little bit of everybody. So yeah, I think I might upgrade my DVD as well to some type of higher def version, because this film is a classic, folks. I know there's some younger cats who maybe haven't seen it, or maybe haven't seen it in a while. So we're gonna find out next week if you've lost that loving feeling.
Oh, buddy, I like it. Wicked. Yeah. So, that's awesome.
So thank you very much, folks. So get your Top Gun ready. Hopefully you all own it. Can I throw one more thing at you, Rob? Since we're going into summer and where you're going to be, looks like you're going to be road tripping a lot. So maybe you're going to be starting to fill in those summer jam playlists.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to show you guys something, and you guys in the comments, let me know what you think as well. This CD album, you own it. I own it. We all own it, right? You lie. You know all these songs, though.
I do not. I do not have the sign. I opened up my life and I saw the sign. No.
Anyways, I was going to ask which song, because there's a bunch of bangers on this album. Which song is your top choice going into the summer? Is it All That You Want? Is it The Sign? Is it Don't Turn Around? Rob, what would your selection be if you had to pop this into the 8-track?
I want to beat you with a tack hammer. I am not.
How do you not have this? How do
you not have
a copy of this? Were you not a member of Columbia at the time, and you had to pick your 10 CDs?
You know what? I have 2 bankers boxes filled of CDs, and in none of them is there anything ever close to Ace of Base.
I think you're hating. It actually came up because there's a TV show. Oh, I did watch this show on Netflix. I think it's called something Pop. Like this is Pop.
Oh yeah, yep.
Episode 1 is Boys to Men, and one of the episodes is basically out of I think Sweden or something.
Yeah.
That they harvested all these hits. So like the Backstreet Boys, ABBA, like all these kind of like music that and 100% familiar with, were all kind of manufactured from the studio in one particular place, which is where Ace of Base originated from. So I can't believe maybe you just missed it, but anyways.
Maybe I remember it quite well, and I gotta tell you, I remember driving around, those damn songs came on. weren't my jam, John. Do I look, John, like somebody that would like be bopping my head to these songs?
It 100% looks like that.
I will concede that when I was doing my clubbing days at Whiskey Saigon, these songs likely came up and were being played. However, I did not own any of the CDs.
All right, fine, fair enough, Rob. I believe the correct answer was you might think the correct answer was The Sign, but the correct answer is 100%. Don't turn around. That thing is a banger. So thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks, Gord, for popping in late. Yes. Gord is on track. I should have asked him instead. So thank you everybody for checking us out. And we'll just close with this. Thank you again, Rob.